But there is a concept of annuity as well. What is annuity? Annuity is, it is a series of cash flows with, number one, constant amount. Same amount every year. Second, at constant interval. And number three, for limited or known period of time. Series of cash flow, amount is same every year, and for limited or known period of time. Limited or known period, that is series of cash flow is called, that is called annuity. That is called annuity. Limited, that you know for how many years? For example, years are 100. Still it is limited, known. It's not something unlimited. So, for example, you will be getting $7,000 every year. Now, this is a typical example of annuity. Constant amount at constant interval and for known, sorry. Okay, now just check it. Is that good? Right. For, yeah, thank you. So for limited or known period of time. So students, let us proceed further. So present value is equal to, so how to calculate present value? This is annuity, is equal to annual cash flow into annuity factor. Into annuity factor. Anjani, I didn't understand your question. Annuity I'm discussing. No, you can't see the annuity I'm discussing right now? No, 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 no. I have not discussed perpetuity. I have not. I have to discuss perpetuity after annuity. This formula I discuss only discount factor. I did not discuss anything. Okay? I will discuss. Right. So annual cash flow into the annuity factor. So, for example, cost of capital is 10%. So present value of cash flow will be equal to annual cash flow 7,000 into annuity factor at 10% for 5 years. And for that, we will be provided an exam formula sheet where we can find annuity. Where we can find annuity. Where we can find annuity. Yes, here is a formula sheet in front of you. This is annuity table. 10% for 5 years, 3.791. 3.791. 3.791. Yes. So 3.791. Here we are. We can calculate it very easily, this whole annuity value. Now, I hope it is clear. So let us proceed further. Annuity is of 4 types, but I will be talking about 3 types right now. The fourth type, when it is tested, just a minute, please. So annuity, what annuity is? Annuity is of 3 types. One is simple annuity. The second is annuity due or in advance. And annuity delayed or deferred. Annuity. So simple annuity where cash flows start from next year. Year one, just next year. And we have talked about that above. Next year, year one. Annuity due or annuity in advance is the case where cash flows start from now. Where cash flow starts from now. So for example, annuity in advance. Let us talk about it. Yes. For example, year 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, 5. You get 7,000 today and in the next 5 years as well. Now, cash flow is starting now. Yes. Cash flow is starting now. If we forget it, if we ignore this for the time being, what is it? It is simple annuity, right? The remaining is simple annuity. So simple annuity, present value formula is annual cash flow into annuity factor. For this, and for year 0, discount factor is 1 plus annuity factor. So this is annuity due or advance. Annuity due or advance. So present value is equal to annual cash flow 7,000 into 1 plus remaining 5-year annuity factor at this rate 3.791. Here you go. Present value of annuity. Here you go. Next. The next point is delayed or deferred annuity, where cash flow starts in some year after year one. In any year, but not in after year one. Later on. After year one. So for example, with example we talk about year 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And 8. Okay. For example, cash flows are starting from here. Year 4. Here they are. Now, this is a delayed or deferred annuity. Assume, so assuming this is year 1, this is 2, and so on. Yes. So, students, for example, when we assume it, this is simple annuity. So, present value is equal to annual cash flow into annuity factor. Annual cash flow into annuity factor. So, we apply this. So, this is then year 0. If it is year 1, this is year 0. So whatever we get answer, that will be here. But we know that it is year 3. It is year 3. We have to take this one answer here, year 0. From here to here. And hence multiplied by discount factor of 3 years minus n. So present value is equal to annual cash flow into annuity factor for 5-year at 10%, 3.79. We know that. Into 1 plus r 0.1 raised to power minus 3, because its answer is falling in year 3. This is called delayed or deferred annuity. This is called delayed or deferred annuity. I hope it is clear. Let us proceed further. The next is perpetuity. We are going to talk about that. What perpetuity is? Perpetuity is series of cash flows with number one, constant amount. Constant amount. At constant interval for unlimited period of time. Normally constant amount. Sometimes constant growth is also there. So perpetuity has one difference, unlimited period of time. Unlimited period of time. Now, the next point is students, for example, you will be getting 7,000, and in the foreseeable future, you will be getting the same. This is perpetuity. Cost of capital is 10%. So what is present value? Is equal to annual cash flow into 1 over R. 1 over R is perpetuity factor. It is perpetuity factor. So present value is equal to 7,000 into 1 over 0.1. 1 over R. This is the present value of perpetuity. Now, so perpetuity is of 4 types in your syllabus. Simple perpetuity, where cash flows start from here next year, and we have discussed that. This one. Perpetuity due. Or in advance, where cash flows start from now, from year 0. Yes. Year 0 and 7,000. Starting from now. So perpetuity due. Advance. Present value is equal to annual cash flow. For year 0, discount factor is 1. Into 1 plus, just like that, annuity factor. 1 will be added for this. 1 over R for the remaining. So present value, it is equal to 7,000 into 1 plus 1 over R. Here you go. Next, delayed or deferred perpetuity. So for example, 7,000 and continue starting from year 3, where cash flow start from year 1. After year 1, perpetuity delayed or deferred. So present value is equal to annual cash flow into 1 over R. Simple. For simple and perpetuity, it is delayed. Discount factor, answer will fall here. 1 plus R raised to power minus n. Now, next point. So present value is equal to 7,000 into 1 plus 1 over R, 0.1 into 1 plus 0.1 raised to power minus 2, because answer will fall in year 2. Delayed or deferred perpetuity. And the last, perpetuity with growth. Perpetuity with growth. It is a unique case where cash flows grow at a constant rate in foreseeable future, where cash flows grow at a constant rate. For example, you will get 7,000 next year and an amount by 4% growth every year later on. Yes, next year. So what is present value? For example, cost of capital is 12%. For example. So present value of perpetuity with growth, the formula is CF1 divided by R minus G. CF1 is the cash flow in the first year of perpetuity. Now, so CF1, that is equal to cash flow in the first year of perpetuity, 7,000 next year, first year of perpetuity. R 12% minus 4%. Now, sometimes they say you have another example. Just received $15,000 and from next year it will be growing by 4%. Okay, make it 3% per annum in the foreseeable future. Cost of capital is 15%. Calculate present value of the perpetuity. Here we are. So let us proceed further. Let us proceed further. You see here, you have not given CF1. CF1 is basically cash flow in first year of perpetuity. First year of perpetuity. So CF1 is equal to CF naught into 1 plus G. Growth rate. So hence this formula will become present value is equal to CF naught into 1 plus G over R minus G. I have just put the value of CF1 there, this one. Simple as that. So present value is equal to CF naught, 15,000. We have just received cash flow before start of perpetuity into 1 plus growth rate, 0.03. R, 15% minus 3%. Here you go. Now, here we are. It is done.